The recipe calls for a single teaspoon of vanilla. A simple request. You stand in your kitchen, the heart of your home for decades, and pull open the utensil drawer. It catches, just for a second, before revealing a jumble of silver, plastic, and wood. A chaotic puzzle of your own making. Your hand hovers, scanning for the familiar shape, but it's lost in a sea of duplicates. 3 can openers, 5 spatulas, a collection of miscellaneous gadgets you haven't touched in years. A small flash of irritation sparks, but it's quickly followed by something heavier. A quiet, bone-deep fatigue. With a sigh, you push the drawer closed, the contents shifting with a dull clatter. It's more than just a drawer. It's a daily reminder of decisions unmade, of a space that once served you perfectly, but now seems to quietly resist every small effort. That sigh is a small surrender, a silent admission that things are becoming just a little too much to handle. Ultimately, your home becomes a physical library of every decision you've ever postponed. Each duplicate can opener, every set of mystery keys, and all the gadgets you kept just in case represent a choice that was deferred. For years, "I'll deal with it later," was a reasonable strategy. But decades of laters have now accumulated into a present reality that is heavy and unmanageable. Your space is no longer a reflection of the life you are living, but a museum of the lives you once lived and the futures you once imagined. The true problem isn't the stuff, it's the inertia it represents. It's the physical manifestation of being anchored to the past. This is why the independence audit is so critical. It's not about cleaning. It is a deliberate act of breaking that pattern. It is the moment you stop deferring and start deciding. It's about clearing the artifacts of yesterday to make room for the life you intend to live tomorrow. Then the phone call. It was about Margaret, a friend from your book club. She had a fall. Nothing catastrophic, a broken wrist, but the story behind it sent a chill down your spine. She'd reached for a can on a high shelf, lost her balance, and in the confusing aftermath, couldn't find her emergency contact list because it was buried in the junk drawer. As you hang up, the sympathy you feel for Margaret is quickly replaced by a cold, sharp-edged self-assessment. You look at your own kitchen. If you fell, where are your contacts? Where is the first aid kit? Could you find a flashlight in the dark if the power went out? Suddenly, the cluttered drawer isn't an annoyance. It's a liability. It's a clear and present danger. The question isn't, where do I start anymore? The real, terrifying question that echoes in the sudden silence of your kitchen is, if I don't fix this right now, what will be the cost tomorrow? That question demands an answer, not an excuse. This is the moment the pattern breaks. It's not about finding motivation or waiting for a someday that never arrives. It's about making a clear, strategic decision. We are not going to tidy up. We are going to execute a 12-point independence audit. This is not an emotional journey through your memories. It is a tactical assessment of your home's readiness to support you. It is a precise, non-negotiable checklist designed to eliminate risks, reduce friction, and restore your kitchen to its proper function, a command center for your life. For each of the 12 items we will address, you will use a simple but powerful tool I call the Next Chapter Test. This isn't about what you are losing from the past. It is about what you are securing for your future. This is the first step to proving unequivocally that you are the architect of that future. Let's begin. Take a deep breath, open the first drawer, and do not look at the whole. Focus only on our first target in the independence audit, duplicate utensils. I see them. You have 3 can openers, 5 spatulas, 2 whisks that are nearly identical. The common excuse is that one is better for something specific. But the reality is that every single day you are forced to make a tiny, unnecessary decision. Which one to use? This isn't about backups. It's about decision fatigue, a slow leak of your mental energy. Now, apply the Next Chapter Test. Pick up each duplicate and ask, will this item actively serve me in the life I want to live now, or is it an anchor to a life I no longer have? You don't need 3. You need the best one, the one that feels good in your hand. Choose it. Place the others in a box for donation. This isn't an act of waste. It is a declaration of simplicity. It is your first micro victory. Item number 2 is non-negotiable, as it directly concerns your safety. Dull knives and worn-out tools. Reach in and find that paring knife with the wobbly handle, the vegetable peeler that barely shaves the skin, the shears that mash rather than cut. We hold on to these out of a misplaced sense of frugality, believing they are still good enough. They are not. A dull blade is the single most dangerous tool in a kitchen because it requires you to apply excessive force, making a slip and a serious injury far more likely. This isn't just a knife. It's a calculated risk you are taking every single day. An accident caused by a faulty tool is a direct threat to the independence you cherish. Removing it from your drawer is not about decluttering. It is a profound act of self-preservation. You are making an executive decision to prioritize your well-being over a $2 peeler. This is a choice for strength and safety. Now for item number 3, mystery keys and obsolete gadgets. Gather them up. That small handful of keys that fit locks you haven't owned in 20 years. The bizarre apple coring device you used once in 1998. The collection of miscellaneous cords for electronics that are long gone. These items are more than just physical clutter. They are mental parasites. Every time your eyes scan over them, your brain engages in a tiny, useless cycle of questioning. What is this for? Should I keep it? What if I need it? This constant, low-grade cognitive load is exhausting. It keeps your mind tethered to unresolved questions and obsolete chapters of your life. Let's apply the test again. Will this key to a forgotten door serve my next chapter? The answer is a clear and resounding no. Letting them go is like closing dozens of open tabs on a computer. It is an immediate release of mental weight, creating space not just in your drawer, but in your mind. And then you hit it, the wall. After the easy wins of duplicates and broken gadgets, your hand freezes over an item that feels different. It isn't just an object, it's a vessel of memory. Perhaps it's a set of chipped measuring cups from your mother's kitchen, their painted numbers faded from 1,000 bakes. Or a corkscrew from a long ago anniversary trip, the one where you and your husband laughed until you cried. Suddenly, the independence audit feels less like a strategic plan and more like a cruel act of betrayal. A voice inside whispers, if you throw this away, you're throwing away the memory. You're saying it didn't matter. This is the real battle. It's not about physical space. It's about the fear of emotional emptiness. The fear that if you clear out these tangible anchors to your past, you will be left adrift, the beautiful chapters of your life erased and forgotten. This is the moment where we must be incredibly clear. The memory is not in the corkscrew. The love is not in the measuring cups. Those things are inside of you. They are part of the person you have become, and no act of decluttering can ever take them away. Holding on to the physical artifact, however, comes at a cost. It keeps you tethered to a moment that has passed, preventing you from fully inhabiting the life you have now. The next chapter test here becomes more profound. You must ask, does honoring this memory require me to sacrifice my peace and safety in the present? The answer is always no. True honor is living a full, vibrant, and independent life, carrying the lessons and love from your past forward, not being trapped by its relics. Letting go of the object is not an act of forgetting. It is an act of faith in your own heart to carry what truly matters. It is choosing your future over your furniture. And then a profound quiet settles in. You slide a door closed, and it glides shut with a soft, satisfying click. There is no rattle, no resistance. You open another, and the object you need is exactly where it should be, sitting in plain sight, ready to serve you. You pause in the middle of your kitchen, and for the first time in years, the space feels like an ally, not an adversary. The weight you thought was the stuff was actually the weight of indecision, and now it is gone. You realize with a startling clarity that you haven't lost a single thing of value. The memories are not in the chipped mugs or the duplicate peelers. They are woven into the fabric of who you are. What you have lost is the daily friction, the low-grade anxiety, the quiet whisper of overwhelm. You haven't emptied your home. You have reclaimed your peace of mind, proving that control was always within your grasp. This reclamation is where the real transformation happens. It's a fundamental shift in your identity. You are no longer the woman who is quietly struggling to keep up. You are the commander of this space, the decisive architect of your own environment. This kitchen, once a source of hidden dread, is now your command center, a place of efficiency, safety, and readiness. Every clean surface and organized drawer is a testament not to a chore completed, but to a standard you have set for your own life. You have proven, most importantly to yourself, that you are not just managing the present, you are actively preparing for a vibrant, independent future. The question is no longer, can I handle this? It has been replaced by a calm, confident statement. I am ready for what's next. Your next chapter is not something to be feared. It is a space you have intentionally and beautifully cleared. The next morning, you walk into your kitchen to make coffee, and the silence is different. It's not an empty silence. It's a peaceful one. You reach for a spoon, and your hand finds it immediately. There is no struggle, no rummaging, no flash of irritation. The simple act is smooth, effortless, and quiet. This is the first dividend of your investment, the complete removal of daily friction. You begin to notice it everywhere. Slicing fruit for breakfast with a sharp, reliable knife. Finding the measuring cup without a second thought. Every small task is now a confirmation of your control, a quiet celebration of order. This isn't just a clean kitchen. It is a finely tuned environment designed by you, for you. The mental energy you once spent navigating chaos is now yours to keep. This calm efficiency is not a temporary state. It is your new, well-earned standard of living. Your home has undergone a fundamental transformation in its purpose. It is no longer a passive museum of your past, a heavy archive of finished chapters and forgotten obligations. It has been recommissioned. Today, it stands as your active command center, a space streamlined for the life you are living right now and the future you are intentionally building. Every organized drawer is a declaration that you are not defined by what was, but by what is and what will be. This shift is profound. When your environment reflects preparedness instead of accumulation, your entire outlook changes. You no longer feel anchored to yesterday's memories. You feel poised and ready for tomorrow's opportunities. This space doesn't just house you, it supports you, it equips you, and it reflects the capable, forward-looking person you have just proven yourself to be. The confidence you forged in this kitchen is not meant to stay there. The independence audit was more than a checklist. It was a training exercise for a new way of thinking. You now possess a powerful tool, the next chapter test, and the proven experience of its success. Look now at the overflowing linen closet, the crowded medicine cabinet, the bookshelf groaning under the weight of books you will never read again. These are not insurmountable mountains of clutter anymore. They are simply the next strategic objectives. You know how to approach them, not with emotional overwhelm, but with decisive clarity. The kitchen was the proving ground. It taught you that you have the strength to make these choices, to distinguish between what serves you and what simply occupies space. You are no longer just tidying up. You are systematically reclaiming your entire life, one decisive victory at a time. Think back to that quiet, persistent fear of your children's concern. That fear has now been disarmed, not by hiding your struggles, but by eliminating them. The next time they visit, they will not walk into a home that whispers of overwhelm. They will walk into a space that radiates competence, calm, and control. They will see the ease with which you move, the clarity of your countertops, the purpose in your organization. The unspoken conversation is no longer about whether you can manage. It's about admiring how well you are thriving. You have preemptively answered their worries with undeniable action. This is the truest form of independence, not just living on your own terms, but demonstrating your capability so profoundly that your autonomy is never questioned. You are not a person to be managed. You are the matriarch of your family, setting a powerful example of dignified, proactive living. Consider for a moment the sheer volume of resources you have just reclaimed. Every minute you previously spent searching for a lost item, every ounce of mental energy you expended battling decision fatigue, every flicker of anxiety you felt when opening a cluttered drawer, it has all been returned to you. This is your new wealth. What will you do with this inheritance of time and focus? Perhaps you will finally sit down to read that novel. Spend an uninterrupted hour in the garden, or plan a weekend trip you've been putting off. The space you cleared in your drawers has created space in your schedule and in your mind. This is the ultimate return on your investment. You didn't just get rid of old gadgets and duplicate utensils. You bought back hours of your life and the mental peace required to truly enjoy them. This process also redefines the very idea of legacy. For years, we are taught to hold on, to accumulate, to preserve. But a true legacy is not a burden you leave for others to sort through. It is not a house filled with a lifetime of possessions that become a project of grief for your children. Your true legacy is the clarity and peace of mind you cultivate in your final chapters. It is the gift of leaving behind a story of intention, not a scene of chaos. By making these decisions now, you are performing a final, profound act of love for your family. You are telling them that your life was not about the things you owned, but about the wisdom you gained, the wisdom to know what truly matters, and the courage to let go of the rest. Stand in your kitchen now. Feel the air. It is lighter. The path from the counter to the table is clear. Look out the window. The world outside seems more accessible, more inviting. This is the feeling of an open horizon. Your home is no longer a fortress protecting you from the world, filled with relics of the past. It is a launch pad, a place of strength and readiness from which you can engage with the world on your own terms. The work you have done here was never truly about decluttering. It was about declaration. A declaration that your story is not over, that there are still chapters left to write, and that you, and you alone, are the one holding the pen, with a clear, clean space to begin. Your future is not a path you are trying to find. It is a space you have just created.